evening once again to everybody. You are tuned into the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. And tonight is our pre-fest special for the Full Terror Assault Festival happening a week from today, August 25th through the 27th, once again at Cave in Rock, Illinois. Tonight's show features music from the fest bands as well as a few little interviews. And right now we have with us to tell us a little bit about what's going on at this year's fest, the festival creator, Joey B. Welcome back, Joey.
What's up?
So, Joey, here we are now, year 2 of the fest. So tell us what's happening at this year's fest. Anything new?
Things, working out the kinks from the first year. You know, when you start off with something like this big, you know, you always learn a few lessons in the process. So this year we kind of scaled down a little bit, went from 3 stages down to 2 stages. And we went from like 70 bands down to 50 bands, and trying to keep everything in one area this time where you don't have to walk all over the campground. So I think it's going to be a lot better than it was last year as far as that goes.
And who are sponsoring the stages this year?
The sponsors are National Rock Review's got the main stage, and Metal Sucks has got the second stage.
And so do you got any, like, special activities going on besides, you know, the bands playing and that kind of stuff? Because it is a 3-day thing going on at a campground.
We'll have an after party every night.
Mm-hmm.
Some music playing, some DJing. We got tattoo artists there. We got food vendors. You know, obviously it's BYOB, which, you know, that alone that's a big activity where you don't have to worry about, you know, just you hang at your campground with your friends and don't have to worry about buying $9 brews, which is always a real pain. But you know, there's a Friday night we have Clench Fist, which is an all-star Sepultura tribute band, and there'll be a few surprises there that some guest musicians and stuff like that. So I won't let the cat out of the bag too early, but. Yeah, I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a lot more convenient bands down there this year. Last year, you had to, you know, if you wanted to go check out an act on a different stage, you had to walk, you know, a little bit of a distance to get there, and you had to make some choices who you wanted to see. So this year, you just basically got to turn around, walk, you know, a couple hundred feet, and it's just constant ping pong back and forth all night long.
But as far as camping, did you sell out all of your campgrounds? How did that go?
Oh, the campground down there is huge. So, that place, it can hold, 8,000 to 10,000 people. So no, it's not sold out.
That's good.
But, as far as the sales this year, it's a lot better than it was last year. And when you're doing something like this, it's a festival takes years to build up. You just can't expect people to embrace it all at one time. People, maybe I'll go next year, let them work the kinks out. Maybe I got something going on this year, but I think over the long 3 to 4 to 5 years, I think people are really gonna catch on to what's going on down there. The word of mouth, the positive vibes. I mean, it's private ground. It's not like you're pitching a tent in a cornfield. It's really nice down there. The people who own it, super laid back, super cool. There's no major security problems and stuff like that. You can pretty much roam around, do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting somebody else. It's pretty chill down there. So I think over the course of time, I think people are going to start really, hopefully, gravitate toward my festival, and I'm hoping at some point to have 10,000 crazy fuckers down there,
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen. It's like you said, it just takes time, and already a lot of the people that I've talked to that went to last year's fest are going to this year's fest too. So, you've already got your little loyal following after 1 year.
Right. It takes time. You know what I mean? It takes time to, you look at any festival out there, unless you've got, major, you're going to back an armored truck up and throw a bunch of money at it. It's going to take years. I'm just one guy doing this. I got my own money in it, and I do everything pretty much myself. I got some key people that help me out, but for the most part, this is one guy with no sponsors and taking a chance. So I got confidence when you have solid lineup every year, which I think we've done pretty good. And like I say, the price of the ticket's not that expensive if you break it down. And then you got the whole factor of, you can camp out. You don't have to worry about a hotel. You got BYOB. You don't have to worry about, when I go to a show, I could spend $200 on beer one night, no problem. So, I think people are going to appreciate that in the long run.
Well, that's nice, too, because instead of having to buy beer or alcohol all night long, they could use that money and they could, purchase merch and stuff like that, and then everybody, makes out, and they have something to take home with themselves, and the bands take a couple extra bucks home, and it's just a great thing. And it's like you said, it's like in the United States, you're at the same place every year, which is a really plus for an open-air event like this, and you're like the only ones. You are the only ones with something of this magnitude in the United States, open-air event. Who are some of the headliners this year? A couple of them.
Oh, we got Sacred Right. That's the main one on Saturday. And Dying Fetus is on Friday. We got Belphegor, they're playing on Friday. We got Locked Up, which is, it's got the members of Brutal Truth and Napalm. There's so many good bands. We got Hammer Fight coming down to play. Mobile Death Camp, Cephalic Carnage. There's so many good bands, and for the price of the ticket, when you look at it, really, in all honesty, I don't know how you wouldn't want to come down and party. To be honest with you, for the price of a ticket right now is $50.
Yeah.
So you break it down, you do the math, it was like $1 a band or something like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, you can't go wrong. So, in preparation for the event happening in a week, what do you have to do in that week's time? Are you setting up stages and all that kind of stuff? Does it get a little crazy?
Well, the main stage is it's permanent. It's where it's at right now. We did have to move. I went down a few weeks ago and we moved the second stage over to the main stage area. And really, the hardest part, in the next couple of weeks or even the next week is trying to coordinate all the back line and the sound production and all the bands and making sure that they know what getting all the information out to them, making sure that they're still some bands I've contacted here in the last couple of days. I just had to make a couple changes, on the Facebook page where a band or two had to drop, but they were replaced. So just trying to, the constant communication and organization that for me, because for one person to try to get out and coordinate with 50 bands, you've got shuttles and you've got flights and you got hotels and you got stuff you got to provide in the backstage and. It's just, logistically, it's pretty hard for one guy to do that. Plus, I work a full-time job. This isn't like my full-time figure. You know what I mean? So, for me, that's the hardest thing. And then trying to make sure everything is set up to where everything goes smooth, and even down to EMT and things that people just don't really think about. What it really takes to put something like that together. Even as far as your food vendors and how you gonna trying to get them in there at a certain time to get them set up, and then your merch people get them in there to get them set up. So that's the hardest part for me right now. Is just the basic coordination and communication back and forth between. It's like herding cats, you know what I mean?
So Facebook is probably a good spot for people to go to find out, last minute things and stuff like that. And you have a website too, like people need directions and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a website, fullterrorassault.com. The directions, they're real specific because, you're out in the middle of, nowhere, basically. But if you follow those directions, you'll get there. There'll be signs posted this year. That's one of the things we made some changes this year is as far as the signage, making sure people know where they're going. And then, obviously we got Facebook, social media, Instagram, stuff like that. So...
So people should be able to find you okay and find out what's going on through Facebook. And again, Joey, best of success for this year's festival. And gosh, I hope you have good weather and good crowds, and we'll see you back here next year.
That sounds great. I appreciate the phone call and the support. Thank you.